Hello, adventurers. It is late on a Thursday night where the storms are brewing across Long Island with the rain and the thunder and the lightning. And I am here with my fellow dark alchemist, the Dead Professor.
Good evening, everybody.
And once again, I am DM Roy, and we are the Dark Alchemist of Dark Alchemy Limited. And the Dead Professor has recently acquired a new tome of knowledge, the Epic Heroes of Faerûn. So this is a book that has been out in several different forms in different editions. So what are we looking at with this one, Professor? What do you think?
Oh, geez. So we go all the way back to the gray box in third edition. I think in third edition. Maybe it was second edition.
Yep. John's Longbox just joined us. He's saying hello. And this is the first time we're using the new chat feature where it automatically pops up. So, John, thank you for checking out the new chat feature. We look forward to seeing you and doing a review together about that giant stack of knowledge and tomes you have recently acquired. Some lost knowledge was acquired, Professor.
Yep. Can't wait. Yep. So we're going to jump right in. We've got some new character options that we're going to take a peek at. So we have, what's it already? Table contents. We have new subclasses.
So I think we're going to start with the College of the Moon. With a bard
subclass, yeah.
Moon bards.
So these are based in the Moonshae Isles is where the idea for them comes from. So Moonshae Isles are very Celtic, Gaelic kind of themed.
Okay.
So that's probably why they went with the Bard and the Moon inspiration there. So at level 3, they get Moon's Inspiration, which is Inspired Eclipse. This is anytime they take a bonus action to give a creature bardic inspiration. You can have the invisible condition and teleport up to 30 feet as a part of that bonus action.
Okay.
So you give somebody inspiration, you turn invisible and teleport 30 feet.
So that's kind of weird. I mean, so you're playing a song, you're like, play your lute, dun, 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 dun. I think I even have a little like music. What would that sound like? Let's see. So we play the music. So the music's playing, right? I give them inspiration, and then I go invisible, and I go away somewhere else.
Well, you may not be playing music the whole time. You could just give them inspiration. You can, cheer them on. Remember, it doesn't have to be music.
Okay.
It could just be a word of encouragement or something like that. Bertrand, you've got this. Or something.
And then, Bertrand, you got this. And then this.
And I'm out of here.
Question. Here's a question. So we have our own house rules for World in Arendor and DM Evanson's campaign where, we felt the invisible condition wasn't strong enough. I turn invisible and I'm still getting shot. It's just disadvantage. I'm still getting hit because they kind of knew where I was. If I pop away 30 feet, have I been hidden? Am I just invisible? I mean, it really depends on the house rule, right?
Don't have the hidden condition because you still have to take the action to hide.
Yep.
Which is still weird, but
invisible. So if you were a game master and somebody turned invisible and teleported 30 feet, would you kind of assume you couldn't see them and really target them unless there was something giving them away, a muddy footprint, or like how would you want to play it?
To me, invisible. So if you turn invisible in a box, in a square, and you don't move, there's no sign of you moving. They can still assume you're in that spot.
Swing at the spot.
Swing at disadvantage. If you move, theoretically, you're not moving silently. You're not moving without making any disturbances on the ground because you're not moving with stealth yet because hiding takes an action.
Yeah.
But this is a bonus action. So in theory, you could take this bonus action, turn invisible, teleport, and hide.
Okay. That's fair enough. I like that. That's a good point. Lunar Vitality. Once per turn, when you restore hit points to a creature with a spell, you can expend the Bardic Inspiration dice to increase the amount of hit points restored by the number equal to the roll on the Bardic Inspiration dice. The creature's speed is also increased by 10 till the end of the turn. So what's a bard going to cast? He's going to do a cure wounds
or healing word.
healing word.
I don't think this is, so from a game mechanics point of view, I don't think this is a great use of a Bardic Inspiration die. Plus D6, D8, D10 on a D20 is way more valuable to me than 6, 8, or 10 hit points, depending on what level bard you are. By the time you're getting a D10, you have 100 plus hit points. So if I cure you 25, making it 30 on average is worth way less than having a plus D10 to hit that monster or a plus D10 on your save or whatever the case may be.
Do you think the Lunar Vitality would ever be used for a 10-foot speed increase? Would you think that would ever come in play where I need an extra 10 feet? Maybe I'm swimming in the water. Maybe.
But now you're burning both a spell slot and a Bardic Inspiration.
Because you have to heal. Yeah.
To give somebody 10 feet of extra movement. I mean, there's a corner case for it.
Yeah.
You know, there's going to be some case in some game where that saves somebody or that wins the fight. Yeah. But under normal circumstance, I can't see it happen.
Okay. Something to think about.
Yeah. All right. Third level Primal Lore, you get Druidic and a cantrip from the Druid spell list. Again, that's a thematic thing because the Moonshade Islands are very Druidic oriented, like the Celtic and Scottish mythos. And you get one additional skill, which is Animal Handling, Insight, Medicine, Nature, Perception, or Survival.
Okay.
Yeah. Level 6, Blessing and Moonlight. This is another weird one. So you have the Moonbeam spell prepared, which is normally a Druid spell, I believe. Can't tell which Druid there. But you can modify the spell so that you glow while the spell is active and shed dim light to 5 feet. Whenever a creature fails the save for the Moonbeam, another creature of your choice that you can see heals.
And it's all, but it heals
2d4.
2d4.
So, again, don't know that that's, I mean, cute little perk for Moonbeam, but I don't know that Moonbeam is going to be used that frequently. I mean, we can look at Moonbeam. 5-foot radius, height of the cylinder doesn't really matter unless there's a flying creature. Dim light. This is 2d10 radiant on a failed save.
Yep.
If you're a shapeshifter, it knocks him out of the shapeshift. That's probably the biggest deal.
So we were recently playing in a game where I think it was the one shot that you were running.
That's correct.
And somebody had a Moonbeam spell, and the creatures were shapeshift, and we one of the characters said, "Oh, I know, they're under the influence of something else," and you thought they almost got it, and you're like, "No, that's not it at all." Then we realized the shapeshift, we're like, "Oh, Moonbeam would have really changed the dynamic of that game."
Moonbeam would have made that fight what that fight was meant to be, because you could have taken any one of the hard creatures and turned them into a human guard.
That would have been awesome. But live and learn. That was a good one. We won't tell any more about that adventure because other people might play that one shot. Yeah, I think it's kind of a waste of Moonbeam. I don't know. I don't know if I'm liking. I don't know if I'm liking the College of the Moon. I'm not.
Yeah, College of Bard of Moon. College of the Moon is not doing anything special for me. Eventide Splendor, you become suffused with the might of the moon, improving your moon's inspiration, so that when you use Inspired Eclipse, the creature who received the Bardic Inspiration can also have the invisible condition and immediately take a reaction to teleport 30 feet and remain invisible for the start of its next turn.
So that's the spell you're getting at 3rd level, and now you're giving it at 14th level. At 14th level, do you think the other 14th level characters are really going to need invisibility in a 30-foot
for one round? Well, I mean, again, it could say the teleport could save somebody.
Okay.
So your mage gets jumped, your cleric gets jumped, somebody in the back line who's soft and squishy gets jumped. this gets them out of melee without having to take an attack of opportunity or anything like that.
Vibrance of the full moon. When you use the lunar vitality, you can roll 1d6 and use that number in place of expending a bardic inspiration dice.
Yeah, so you can use it.
Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know what everybody thinks. If everybody wants to comment, would you want to be a moon bard? I mean, it's cool, it's thematic, but I don't really see the fact that you're on the Moonshae Islands. It's all these Druid islands, and the abilities you're giving to the singer or the bard or the performer of those islands is really doing much. Let's move on to the knowledge domain cleric. I was very interested in this. The campaign we're playing, your character is basically looking for the goddess of knowledge.
I was using the Unearthed Arcana version of this.
Oh, great.
Which has virtually not changed at all. I believe one ability changed at level 6. Blessing of Knowledge, gain proficiency with an artisan's tool, and 2 of the following skills: Arcana, History, Nature, Religion, and you gain expertise in those 2 skills. I have History and Religion. Knowledge and spells.
But right there, Scott, the fact, the moon bard seems blah. Thank you, DM Evanson. We agree. The expertise in history and religion is pumping the level of your specialization up to like plus 11, plus 12, plus 13. So you're, last night when we played, on some of your abilities, you're rolling. I know you're rolling hot, but you were typically rolling in the 25 to 30 range. Yeah. So anytime the dungeon master said, hey, do you want to try to see what happens? You're like 30, like, okay, I guess you have all the information. So expertise in that is amazing.
Well, and it's double benefit for me because I'm also the Ancestor Sorcerer who gets benefits to those skills as well. Mm-hmm. So my skills are like plus 11, plus 14. So, I mean, at plus 14 history, if I roll a 10, it's a 24.
Yeah. So I'll let you go over the spells that are always prepared, but I did want to mention one thing that I do like in 5th edition, and I don't know if it was in the other editions, that when you have certain subclasses, you have always spells prepared. I'm playing the wizard. I have the Diviner Wizard. I'm now level 7, and I am really struggling to kind of pick and choose and have the foresight or even the divination to know what spells I think I need for the next encounter. I prepare them, I pick them. I'm like, man, maybe I wish I had slow instead of haste, or maybe I wish I didn't drop invisibility, or do I take the lightning bolt every time? So the fact that these editions give you pre-prepared spells that you always ready, I think that's an awesome thing.
This came about halfway through the 2014 books. I want to say, I'm guessing a little bit there, but it didn't happen in the player's handbook. But then later subclasses started to get it. And they carried it through to 5th edition, and everything is getting it now. And I think it's a great little perk. So knowledge, they're all fairly obvious spells. I guess command is the one that's not quite making sense, maybe. But comprehend languages, detect magic, detect thoughts, identify, and mind spike. Which are all divination school, it says. And then 5th level, you get Dispel Magic, Non-Detection, and Tongues. 7th level, Arcane Eye, Banishment, Confusion. And 9th level, Legend, Lore, Scrying, and Synaptic Status.
So it does seem that this particular college or this particular subclass of clerics leans heavily into divination magic with a couple of things. Maybe banishment is there. Hey, you discover something, I could be able to banish stuff. Hey, I discover something, I don't want them to be able to track me, so I have non-detection.
Most of the things that are not divination are either command type or mind affecting type, synaptic status, mind spike, etc. And that plays into the level 3 ability, mind magic. So as a magic action, you can use one of your channel divinities to manifest your magical knowledge. You can choose one spell from the divination school that is on that knowledge domain spell list, and as part of the action, you cast a spell without a spell slot or needing material components. So you can cast comprehend language, detect magic, detect thoughts, identify, tongues, arcane eye, or legend lore, or scrying. And I think legend lore actually has a pricey component, if I remember correctly. I can't see it here. Let's click
Well, you keep talking. I'll take a quick look at legend lore. I'll look that up.
Yeah, so 250 gold pieces worth of incense and 4 ivory strips worth 50 gold pieces each. So 400, almost 500 gold to cast legend lore.
Oh, you found it. Okay.
Yep. And then scrying requires, I think, a vessel worth some amount of gold as the scrying medium, but you can do it without that.
Yeah, I think it's a silver chalice, a silver mirror, something like that.
Yeah.
Sure.
So here's where they start leaning again into the mind part of it. At 6th level, you get telepathy out to 60 feet, a number of creatures equal to your wisdom modifier score. You gain proficiency in intelligence savings throws, which is anytime you get a free proficiency for saves, that's a huge thing to me.
Yes, it is.
Instead of having 2, you'll have 3. And then at 17th level, a little bit of diviner there for you, divine foreknowledge. As a bonus action, you can expand your mind into future. For 1 hour, you have advantage on D20 chests, period. You just have advantage on everything you do, like you've got multiple glimpses of the future coming at you.
For 1 hour. That's a lot of rounds.
Yeah.
A lot of rounds.
You can also burn a 6th level spell to do it as well, if you've already used it. Now, not like having diviner, I know what this number's going to be. It's advantage. It's not giving disadvantage to anyone else, but
it's funny as the official diviner of the group. I do like rolling those 2 D20s and having those numbers. And eventually goes up to 3 D20s. I think at maybe a certain level, maybe 7th or not 7th, maybe 9th.
And spoiler alert for anyone who's not caught up on the current Critical Role campaign, the mage is a diviner.
Oh, really? Awesome.
Yes.
Awesome. I just finished chapter 1. I'm ready for chapter 2 of that.
And her first set of dice included a 20.
So, that's what I was gonna say. As a diviner, if I roll that D20 and I get a 20, that's amazing. But honestly, sometimes a 4, 5, or 6 or a 1 is just as good. A lot of times that saves me. If I want to put somebody to sleep, a first level spell, I'm like, hey, you rolled the 1, unless you got like plus 17 to it, then you're gonna fail.
Whatever spell it is, it's huge.
All right, let's go on to the fighter. We have a new fighter subclass.
In the playtest, this was Purple Dragon Knight.
Oh, was it? Gotcha.
They could not. I don't feel like they could come to where they wanted Purple Dragon Knight to what it was, because the one they came up with was very cool, where you got kind of a knight as a dragonette as a mount and a companion. But it didn't fit with any of the history of the Purple Dragon Knights.
Okay.
In the Forgotten Realm. So it didn't really make sense. And people were like, that should have been a ranger class, and all sorts of comments about it.
So it says this guy is he is basically an ambassador a noble ambassador. He presents himself with grace, a skilled warrior. He leads other warriors. I mean, is his special ability? It says to rally, inspire. Is the banner his thing? Did they just put the purple dragon on the banner?
Being the bannerman, basically.
Okay.
When leading a band of allies, he can transform a poorly equipped militia into a ferocious warband. So he makes the people around him better.
So, as a player, and living in a modern society, but playing Dungeons and Dragons, I never really thought about like how the importance of a bannerman or a banneret, right? But maybe back in the day, maybe I was like, yeah, we need that. We need the banner guy. That's really important.
I mean, throughout history, it's been a big deal. I mean, go Revolutionary War.
Yeah. Somebody's got to wave the flag.
It's a deal. I mean, we played enough Warhammer over the years. If you didn't have a bannerman in your block of troops, you were not happy.
That little -1 or the lack of that +1 for the banner. So level 3, knightly envoy. You know how to conduct yourself with grace and nobility.
Yeah, you get comprehend languages as a ritual.
Okay.
So they can communicate. Good for an ambassador. You get polyglot. You learn an additional language from the player's handbook. And when you finish a long rest, you can change that language.
Mm-hmm.
So if you end up somewhere where you don't have the language, you take a long rest, you've heard or seen the language, you can now change it to that language.
So basically, as long as he's there within the past 24 hours and heard the language, he's the next day or the next long rest, he's going to be able to now talk to everybody. Okay, that's cool.
Yep.
And and that actually kind of goes to the fact that charisma is important for this guy. And now you have a fighter who maybe you think normally is doing just all the weapon stuff and the vexing and the cleaving, but now this guy can be more of a social character. He have importance.
Your
dealing with
fighter can be the face of the group for a change.
Yes, interesting. The fighter can be the face of the group. I like that a lot.
It's almost always the bard or the sorcerer or the warlock because they're the charisma classes.
And coming down to well-spoken, you get a proficiency in one of the following: insight, intimidation, persuasion, or performance. So, I mean, I would probably go right for persuasion, have a high charisma. I mean, you could have the intimidating fighter, but I think the persuasion would probably get the most mileage out of.
Yeah. And then we get some of the group abilities. So when you use your second wind, you choose a number of allies in 30 feet of you up to your charisma modifier, and they all gain D4 plus your fighter level and hit points. Again, not going to be a huge deal for a group at higher level, but for a fighter, supporting militia, that D4 plus charisma, plus level could be 10 hit points.
So does it say a number of allies equal to your charisma modifier, minimum one? Right. So if he's at a 20 charisma, he's at a 5, 18 charisma, 4, and then as a dungeon master, let's put a dungeon master tip up here. Dun dun dun. I can play music too. So as a dungeon master, I would even say, if like you said, if there was some local militia, some NPCs, they walk up and they're going to help you, he can inspire them, give the NPCs a couple extra hit points, make them feel good, and then make the player character who's actually running the Bannerman feel a little extra heroic because now he's inspiring some of the local guys. Yes, it could be a party, but it could also, extend those allies to the people around you and that are fighting for their town.
And now if you play with either sidekicks or if you go back further and you play with henchmen or hirelings, I mean, you could hire 5 guards to go with you.
Yes. Did they add that back in the new rules? It's in the
sidekicks from 2014. Their bastions don't really have anything about people to go with you. They have guards for the bastion.
I remember playing back in the day in first and second edition, and having hirelings and that
henchmen
being
were just part of the game. They got a share of your experience. They leveled up. Yeah, they were a big part of the game. Absolutely.
Let's go on to group recovery.
That's one we just did.
So that's it. Sorry, team tactics.
Now, when you use your group recovery, everyone has advantage for their next turn. All D20 tests.
Okay.
So again, you're boosting those people around you. Level
so they
10
get a few hit points, and they're going to get an extra dice to roll an attack or whatever.
Save or anything.
Yeah.
Level 10 rallying surge. When you're action surge, you can choose allies within 30 foot up to your charisma score. Each of those allies immediately gets to take a reaction to either attack or move.
Ooh, that's nice.
Mm-hmm.
That is nice because it, again, 18 charisma, 17 charisma, 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5 people getting an extra attack.
Yeah.
That's a lot. That's a lot of action economy.
Yeah. Now, I mean, again, even without henchmen or hirelings or anything, your cleric's going to have a reasonable hand-to-hand attack. Maybe there's another fighter in the group. Yeah. But to me, most importantly, if you've got a rogue in your group, that's a second sneak attack potentially.
Yes.
Because he's attacking off his round.
He can also stand back if it was whether it was NPCs or it was if everybody in your group had a ranged weapon, like a crossbow or a bow, and he's waving his banner, and all of a sudden, 4 members of your party are all firing a longbow at the same target. Yep. I think that's great. And also, I like this move. Allies can move half the speed without provoking attacks or opportunities.
Yep.
The fighter comes up, rallying surge, waves his banner, and now everybody who's like stuck with that big monster about to get squished, they just fall back.
Yeah, the unit reforms.
Yep. Yeah, I like that. That's cool.
Yeah. All right. Level 15, shared resistance. When an ally you can see within 60 feet of yourself fails a save, you can take a reaction to use your Indomitable feature, which allows them to re-roll a save, and you allow the ally to re-roll their save with the bonus equal to your fighter level.
Wow.
So you're level
I could
15 at this point.
I could have used that in the tunnel where we got flamed. So if
Yeah,
somebody
but track that
yeah,
again.
helps me.
You're level 15 at this point. That means they're re-rolling their save with a bonus equal to 15.
Plus 15?
It says equal to your fighter level. And you get this at level 15.
I wonder if that's almost like an auto pass for the most part.
Yeah, that's a big
Unless you're
deal.
dropping a 1, 2, or 3. So
Yeah.
I wonder if that's a typo and they meant, again, it's in the rules, it's codified. This isn't a new book. But do you think maybe somebody actually meant that it was going to be equal to the fighter saving throw, not the level? So a 15 level fighter might have a saving throw of plus 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Who knows, right? But to say it's to the level, I've never seen anything that gave you a plus 15 to a save.
Unless you're a paladin.
I don't know. We had a pretty high level paladin. I think those were plus 9, 10, 11. You think there was a 15 there, Professor?
Well, we weren't level 15.
True. But still, that's a good one. That's a good one.
Yeah. And then Inspiring Commander at level 18, Bolstering Rally. The area of effective group recovery and rallying surge becomes 60 foot. And Unshakable Bravery, you have immunity to Charm and Frightened.
Well,
It's
if you play Strahd, Charm and Frightened is nice.
Yeah. It's a very cool subclass, but I don't think it's going to see a lot of play.
Why is that?
Because you don't have those hirelings and henchmen like you used to. You really need that group of 4 lower level people with you to benefit from this.
Well, I think you have a discussion with the game master if you're going to play this guy when you're actually doing character creation that, hey, I kind of want to be a guy who leads other NPCs. And if the game master allows that and runs it, then you kind of make those hirelings and you take a step back and do a little research.
If your game master's down for that, I think it's a very cool class. But I think in a standard game or at a con or something like that, you're not going to see this played.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I think the fighters have been given a lot of love. I think they've done a good job of helping the fighters be more having people pick the fighters more, right? There's more good stuff. Let's move on to the Oath of the Noble Genies. That's a paladin subclass. And I was reading this last night, and it looks like it's not just one genie. It is really all of them. So this paladin will follow all the 4 elemental types: the Tao, the masters of the earth; the Jinn, the masters of the air; the Ifrits, the masters of fire; and the Marids, the masters of water. And they're actually getting elements from all of them, right? And I like this. And these guys are actually from a specific place. It was Kalasham, yeah. But I mean, it can be from anywhere. But I think this is very thematic, and I love the whole elemental aspect. So, what do you think it is, Professor?
I like this one. I like the genie theme. So in this one, you get Elemental Smite, which means your divine smite allows you to add on based on the elements. So you can do the Earth, Tao's Crush. The target gets grappled by the Earth. And then you have Dijin's Escape. You can teleport after you smite.
Yep.
And you turn semi-incorporeal or gaseous, I guess would be appropriate, which lasts until the end of your next turn. You have resistance to bludgeoning, piercing, slashing, and immunity to grapple, prone, and restrained. You have the fire version from Afrit's Fury. They take an extra 2d4 fire, and the fire jumps from target to another creature you can see in 30 feet. That also takes 2d4, so a little splash damage.
Yep.
And then Marid Surge, the water version. Each creature in a 10-foot emanation from you take a strength save. And on a failed save, they're pushed 15 feet away from you and knocked prone like a wave comes out from you.
10 foot. I mean, yeah, if you're stuck in the thick of it, I think that's a great thing. Knocking them prone, pushing them back.
Yeah.
No opportunity attacks. I think sometimes you expect the fire damage or the earth, the grapple and stuff. Use that, but I really like the odd stuff that is more interesting. Anything that affects movement, I always think is very interesting, whether it's you're moving or disengaging or moving other people. And a 15-foot push is pretty far. Most of these pushes aren't 15 feet.
Yep.
It's mostly 5 and 10s. You do see some 15s
it's a 10-foot emanation, so you could get a lot. I mean, you're moving a lot of people with that. So that's everyone
Yes.
within 2 squares of you.
Now it is a strength saving throw, but
Yeah.
that being said, it doesn't limit the size.
No,
Is
it
that
does
you
not.
reading it right?
Does not.
So large, gargantuan,
Yep. Doesn't have a limit.
a dragon or what's that? Those Taraks come out and you just
Yep.
wave them back.
Yep. And knock them prone.
I love it. And knock them prone, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, like Godzilla going down, knocking the building.
Added spell list for genie spells. My favorite spell of the edition: Chromatic Orb, Elementalism, and Thunderous Smite. Now, Chromatic Orb's not going to pay off as well on a paladin. They're more melee oriented typically, but it's a nice little perk. Mirror Image on a paladin, that's awfully tasty, I think. Phantasmal Force, Fly a Gaseous Form, Conjure Minor Elementals, again, that's a damage boost. Summon Elemental, Banishing Smite, and Contact Other Plane. Some good spells, and not spells you would expect on a paladin.
Well, that's up to the paladin then to be able to try to decide how to do it. A flying paladin, very scary. A mirror image paladin, very strong. A paladin who has an elemental helper, that's very nice.
Yep.
So I played a paladin, a level 4 paladin. I was going to ask about the Banishing Smite. So I played a level 3 or 4 paladin in your one shot. I had a great time with them. But I didn't know how to use the paladin properly. I kind of wasted some spells. I should save every spell for smite. So even though all these spells are good, I felt like I wasted 2 spell slots because I didn't save them for smite, and it was a waste of my time. So
depends what they are. Like fly, that may pay off better than a smite. You know what I mean?
But I was using them for like a guarding bolt and stuff. I should have walked up. So what's the Banisher Smite at level 17? I'm just curious.
So it's level 5 paladin spell. Basically, you hit them, and if they drop to 50 or fewer hit points, then they're suffer the effects of banishment.
Wow, that's cool. Knock them back to the place that they came. And if they're from that plane, do you have to maintain concentration then?
You do have to maintain concentration.
But a paladin should be able to maintain concentration.
So it does not say they're permanently banished. It does not back them to their home plane. It's transported to a harmless demi-plane. So it is a little different than the banishment spell.
For the duration. Okay, that's important. Okay. Let's move on to the Genie Splendor.
Genie Splendor, when you aren't wearing armor, your ace, you basically get Dex and Charisma for your armor class. So
assume Dex at 18, Charisma 18 if that's possible. What's my armor class?
18. Plus a shield.
What?
20.
Can you use a shield with that?
Yep, you can use a shield and still gain his benefit.
So you're wearing like the desert armor robes?
Yep, it's no different than Barbarian. Barbarian is Dex and Con, I believe.
Yep.
For their unarmored fighting.
Would I want to skip armor?
Would you want to? Well, it lets you make a dexterity-based paladin instead of a strength-based paladin. If you pick a finesse weapon, you now don't have to have a high strength. Whereas if you're going to go heavy armor, you need at least a 15 strength to wear it all without a penalty.
Oh, yeah, I forgot. I always forget about that minimum 15 strength for the full plate.
Yeah.
I might have cheated in when we played with my paladin. I don't know what my strength was. I was an elf. I might have been a little bit under armored there.
Yeah.
Under strength. Yeah, watch that.
Yeah.
Elemental Rebuke.
They also get a skill there. They get acrobatics, intimidation, performance, or persuasion.
Oh, cool.
Level 7, Aura of Elemental Shielding. Pick an element: acid, cold, fire, lightning, thunder. You and your allies have resistance for that while they're within your aura of protection.
I like it. All those are good things. Fire will come up a lot. Lightning will come up, once in a while. Fire, cold, probably most, maybe acid, but just to give other people fire resistance when they don't have that ring of that potion, that's huge. That's huge.
And that's on top of getting the bonuses to saves that you already get at level 7. So you're in their aura of protection, so you're getting the savings throw bonus, and you're getting resistance to a damage type. That's big.
Yeah, because we still get the base paladin stuff that comes. This is just additional stuff.
Yeah. Level 15 Elemental Rebuke. When you're hit by an attack roll, basically this is Hellish Rebuke or whatever it is, the Warlock spell. When you're hit by an attack roll, you take a reaction to have the damage against you and make them take a save. On a failed save, they take 2d10 plus your charisma modifier of a element of your choice.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's Hellish Rebuke is the Warlock one.
Hellish Rebuke is the Warlock one, and
Yeah.
Paladin is a charisma-based class anyway, so it's going to be good. You're going to be able to use it a few times.
Yeah.
And you get that after a long rest. So this is a level 20. You don't really see many level 20 ones. A lot of times it's 17, sometimes at 19.
Yeah, this is one of the few that has a level 20 capstone. As a bonus action, you gain the benefits below for 10 minutes. You can't use it again until you finish a long rest. You can also restore its use by leveling a level 5 slot. 60-foot flight and minor wish.
Minor wish. What's a minor
When
wish?
you or an ally in your aura of protection fails a d20 test, you can take a reaction to make you or that ally succeed.
That's pretty cool. That's pretty
And
cool.
it doesn't say once. It just says you can for 10 minutes. Once per turn, you succeed on a save.
If you have that reaction available.
Yep. If you haven't used your reaction, just keep popping off saves.
10 minutes. I wish we survive this encounter and don't all die. Your wish is granted.
That's your minor wish, exactly. And that is Genie Paladin. I think this will see play. I think people have been dying for a dex-based Paladin, and all these other things it gets on top of that. I think this will be very popular.
I think though the actual image I had was a dragonborn jumping out, and again he was like a desert one.
Yeah.
I think it's also, you know, for those people who like models and painting, I think there's a lot of modeling opportunities to make a more like, you know, desert based Arabian type of, you know, paintings, robes,
Arabian sword dancer kind of thing,
scimitar. Yeah, I love it, and I think it looks good. And some of those are 3D prints that we have, and
yep, absolutely,
they really lend themselves to, you know, some good painting.
Yeah. All right. So Winter Walker Ranger. So Icewind Dale themed. Level 3 Frigid Explorer. Damage from your weapons attacks. Ignore cold resistance. Your weapon attacks, ranger spells, and ranger features ignore resistance to cold. You gain resistance to cold.
Yep.
And when you hit a creature with an attack roll, you can deal an extra D4 cold damage once per turn.
And that damage increases to D6 at a level 11. Yep. So which, I mean, like, that's a cool picture. It's a ranger snowboarding, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
He's got his ice picks and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, right off the bat, all cold. I don't know. Let's keep going, but I kind of feel like this is going to be super situational. But let's see what else we have.
Hunter's Rhyme. Ice rhymes you and your prey, protecting you and hindering them. When you cast Hunter's Mark, you gain temporary hit points, D10 plus your ranger level. Nice little perk.
Good amount.
And when you Hunter's Mark something, it can't disengage. Again, nice little perk.
Can a regular ranger's Hunter's Mark, can they disengage?
Yes.
I wonder why they gave it to this guy. I guess the theme with the ice.
The idea is the ice, they're frozen, they're being slowed down. That's the theme behind it anyway.
I know a ranger who doesn't like Hunter's Mark, and he feels, you know, it could be more powerful. And maybe this is a good way to make it more powerful if they all had it.
Yeah, but it also gives you the ice shield on yourself of D10 plus ranger level hit points. So you can get 15 hit points when you cast it.
Yeah, they're making. And so highlight, what does the regular Hunter's Mark do then?
D6 damage per attack, and bonus to tracking survival kind of things, perception or survival skills on them.
I feel like the other rangers are going to be jealous. You know, why? Maybe
of the other rangers. Well, a lot of the rangers have stuff for Hunter's Mark. It's actually people's big complaint about rangers is they're too Hunter's Mark focused.
Okay.
So
you want to be able to do other stuff.
Yeah, I think it's a good. I think that particular ability I think is very good. It's a nice perk to Hunter's Mark. Your spells: Ice Knife, Hold Person, Remove Curse, Ice Storm, Cone of Cold. Purely thematic. I don't see a lot of play on Ice Knife for a ranger. Level 5, Hold Person is a good spell for anyone.
Yep.
Remove Curse, I don't really understand the thematic on that one.
Are there a lot of stuff throwing curses in the Icewind Dale? Maybe there's a lot of hags up there or something, or something that's cursing you. I've read the Icewind Dale series.
I've read them all. I don't remember that many curses.
Okay.
Ice Storm, Cone of Cold, good spells, but at level 17, I don't know that Cone of Cold is going to be.
Yeah, Cone of Cold is like a level 3 spell, right? So and you get it
No,
at
level
17.
5.
Oh, is it level 5? Okay.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this.
Let
me ask you this. We're looking at all these spells here, Professor, and it's one spell every couple of levels, where other people are gaining multiple spells to their spell list. Do you think
that's the standard for Rangers? Is one.
Okay. One.
I think.
Okay.
Fortifying Soul, level 7. You've been through horrible stuff surviving in the Arctic. As a magic action, choose a number of creatures equal to your Wisdom modifier. They regain D10 hit points plus your Ranger level and have advantage on saves to avoid or end the frightened condition.
I like that. That's good for fighting vampires and gothic horrors, as well as supernatural horrors such as Cthulhu by Torchlight. I think anything that ends a frightening condition is a nice thing.
Level 11, Chilling Retribution. When a creature hits you with an attack, you can take a reaction and force them to take a Wisdom savings throw. On a failed save, they are stunned until the end of your next turn.
Anything stuns is good. Stunning is good.
Stunned is big, yeah. Stunned is incapacitated. Automatically fail strengthening decks, and attack rolls against them have advantage. So that's a biggie. I think that's
and it's also
bigger than the Paladins one, the Hellish Rebuking one.
It's stunned until the end of your next turn.
Right. So
everybody's going to get to hit with advantage.
Exactly. 15, Frozen Haunt. When you cast Hunter's Mark, you adopt a ghostly, snowy form until the spell ends. While you're in this form, you gain the following benefits. Frozen Soul, immune to cold damage. When you adopt this form, and at the start of each of your turns, each creature within 15 feet of you takes 2d4 cold damage. So you're emanating cold. Partially incorporeal, you have immunity to grapple, prone, and restrained. You can move through creatures and objects as if they were difficult terrain. Take d10 force damage if you end your turn there. If the form ends and you are inside a creature object, you're shoved into nearest space.
Okay.
That's the capstone for this subclass.
Okay, level 15 capstone.
It's interesting. I think people will have some fun with it. I think you could theme this more as a haunted ranger as much as an ice ranger. With the cold and frightened and all that. I think people may theme this that way a little more than the cold. But I think it's got play.
Yeah, I like the addition of Hunter's Marks and stuff. And the spell list. So I mean, if you're playing in an Icewind Dale environment, definitely.
Well, yeah.
And if you have a
cold and the getting through resistance to cold is big.
Yeah, and then if you're also playing in campaigns where there is ice in your lands or a frozen area that maybe you might go to someday, then you really shine there. We were playing with DM Evanson one time, and he said pick cold or dark, and we kind of picked the cold, and we went to the cold area, and he had an adventure in there, and the cold sucked. We had some problems with some exhaustion levels, and it was rough. I think only one person had a resistance or a cloak that helped, but the rest of us were pretty beat up. Moving on to the Scion of the Three, a rogue class. The three being Bane, Baal, and Merkul, which are classic characters and gods from the Forgotten Realms. They were humans, and then eventually they ascended to godhood. I remember reading a whole series on how it happened, and now they're actually taking some center stage in the video game Baldur's Gate 3. There's a big part where you're kind of dealing with Bane and Baal and their aspects who were serving them.
So the idea is that basically you're a descendant of one of these gods because they lived in Baldur's Gate before they became gods.
Yep, as
Uh,
humans,
so
immortals.
little bit leaning to the evil subclass, or at least bloodthirsty, but interesting nonetheless. Bloodthirst. When an enemy this is a really nice one on a rogue. When an enemy you can see within 30 feet of yourself takes damage and is bloodied, so reduced to half hit points. After taking that damage, if they're not killed outright, you can use your reaction and teleport to their space and immediately attack them.
Yes.
So fighter takes the whatever down to half hit points, you teleport to its back and start shanking it with your sneak attack.
Then it runs away, and you can do it equal to your intelligence modifier minimum 1. So basically, you'll be able to do it a couple times. It'll run away, and you're not getting away from me. Just hitting that there. I like it. I like it. It's something we haven't seen before with the bloody condition.
Yep. Dread Allegiance. You pick one of the 3 gods. You gain resistance to a type of damage, the ability to cast a cantrip, and you can change this choice on a long rest. So Bane is psychic resistance and minor illusion. Baal is poison resistance and blade ward, and Merkul is necrotic resistance and chill touch. Certainly a useful ability.
Yeah, so I think poison resistance is great. I did enjoy blade ward at lower levels with the paladin I was playing, pumping my armor class. Necrotic resistance is kind of situational, but good. But chill touch is a good one because I believe you can't regenerate hit points if you hit with the chill touch.
Yes, it is touch now though, which is different. So it is now a touch spell, melee spell attack, D10 damage, and can't get hit points until their next turn.
But here's the thing: you can bloodlust, teleport to them, and then hit them with that chill touch. Especially if there's an annoying monster, humanoid creature, bad guy that keeps regenerating, casting spells, getting hit points back. You'll chill touch
You
them.
cannot chill touch on your bloodthirst because it specifically says melee attack, not melee. So you can't cast a spell.
But you can get there close enough, and then maybe next turn, if they're getting away, hit them with that chill touch.
Yeah, to me, it's always going to be Baal for poison resistance because you've got nothing to concentrate on, which means you should always have Blade Ward up.
Yes, Blade Ward should always be up.
Yeah. 9, Strike Fear. You gain the following Cunning Strike option. So you can sacrifice 1d6 of your sneak attack damage to make the target take a Wisdom savings throw or gain the Frightened condition. And that gives you advantage on attack rolls against it.
Doesn't sound very lawful good. Trying to terrify people and strike fear, Scott.
Like I said, this is not what you would define as a good alignment subclass.
Okay.
Aura of Malevolence.
There you go.
You radiate malignant power associated with one of the dead 3. When you use Bloodthirst and teleport each creature of your choice within 10 feet of either the space you left or the destination space takes damage equal to your intelligence modifier. So you're going to be talking about 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5 points of damage maybe. And that damage is the same as whatever you picked for resistance in your previous ability. So psychic, poison, necrotic.
I feel, and I can't prove this, and I don't know if you know the answer because it is a kind of specific thing. In Baldur's Gate 3, you go into the Temple of Baal, and you have to fight some bad guys down there. And I feel like the words "Aura of Malevolence" had popped up a few times, and I wasn't sure what it was. But I think I was taking some extra damage.
Could have very well come from that.
Yeah. So I think that is a Baldur's Gate 3 thing.
And then level 17, Dread Incarnate. You gain the following abilities. You regain 1 expended use of Bloodthirst when you finish a short rest. Okay. And Murderous Intent. When you roll your sneak attack damage, treat a 1 or a 2 as a 3.
What do you think of that?
That is a big boost in sneak attack damage. So you took an average of 3.5 and raised it on a d6, right? The average is 3.5, and now it's 3, 3, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'd have to do the math, but you significantly raised the average damage.
And by level 17, your sneak attack is pretty high.
Yeah, probably 2 points per die. So it's probably an extra 10 or 20 points of damage.
Yeah, I like it. But again, murder's intent. That does not sound very lawful. Intending
It might be
murder.
lawful, but it ain't good.
It ain't good. So I like this class. I think it's awesome. I think it'd be fun to play. I don't know how you'll play it. If you kind of play it,
yeah, be a little strange. I mean, it depends. I guess it depends on the party. But you're clearly allied to a evil god.
Yeah.
So
if you use evil to do good, then that's good, right? 2 wrongs make a right, or
sure.
1 wrong and 1 right make a right.
Again, it's all about perception and role play, right? What do people think of you being allied to Bane?
Yeah. Now you're playing a sorcerer in our current campaign, a combination, and now we're looking at a new sorceress, the Spellfire sorceress, and where we had previously seen wild magic, now we see raw magic. So what do we think that's about?
So Spellfire has always been, well, not always, but came out in the Spellfire trilogy in the Forgotten Realms way back when. And it was really just Spellfire is the raw essence of magic. So it is now tinted. It is now slanted to being both fire and radiant.
Okay, that's the
raw Spellfire Burst. When you spend a sorcery point as part of a magic action or a bonus action on your turn, you can unleash one of the following effects of your choice. Once bolstering flames, you or 1 creature you can see within 30 feet gains temporary hit points. D4 plus your charisma modifier, or radiant fire. 1 creature you can see takes D4 plus D4 of radiant or fire damage.
Some undead might be vulnerable to radiant, so maybe you do double damage. A little bit of a heal.
I feel like it's going to be a temporary hit point bump fairly consistently. If you spend a sorcery point and cast a spell, you get to do it. Or you can just do it as a bonus action, it seems like. When you spend at least 1 sorcery point as part of a magic action or a bonus action. So anytime you burn a sorcery point, you can do this.
Okay.
So at level 3, 3 times a day. Or 3 times per,
plus the level. So D4 plus 3 is 7, so it helps a little bit at low levels. Absolutely.
Added bonus spell list: Cure Wounds, Guiding Bolt, Lesser Restoration, Scorching Ray, Aura of Vitality, Dispel Magic, Fire Shield, Wall of Fire, Greater Restoration, and Flame Strike. Like I said,
a lot of fire
and radiant.
A lot of fire stuff.
Yeah, fire and radiant. This is a nice one. Level 6. Always have counterspell prepared.
It's big.
And whenever a target fails the save on your counterspell, you regain D4 sorcery points.
So at level 6, is D4 sorcery points a lot?
Oh, you've got 6.
That's a lot. That's a lot. And you could probably have the counterspells level 3. At level 6, you have 2 of them. So you could top off your sorcery with some lucky rolls.
Yep.
That seems pretty powerful.
Yep. Level 14, Honed Spellfire. Your Spellfire Burst improves. You now you add your sorcerer level to the temporary hit points and the damage. So in addition to, let's go back to it, Spellfire Burst. So it was temporary hit points equal to D4 plus your charisma. Now it's D4 plus your charisma plus your level. And the radiant damage is D4 plus your level.
Okay.
At level 14, that's a pretty big boost.
It is.
So your temporary hit points are now at level 14. Theoretically, you'll have a 20 charisma, so you'll be plus 5. So 19 plus D4. So you could be popping out 23 temporary hit points.
Yeah. Okay, that's a lot. I like it. I think it's good. Yeah. Now their capstone here is level 18.
Yep. And it's got a lot of effects.
A lot of words.
Use your innate sorcery. You can alter it and infuse yourself with the essence of Spellfire, gaining the following benefits while this use of innate sorcery is active. So these are in addition to the innate sorcery benefits. Burning Life Force. Once per turn, when you are hit by an attack, you can expend a number of hit dice up to your charisma modifier, roll them, and reduce the amount of damage from that attack equal to the roll.
So you're rolling 5 dice. Sorcerer's D6 or D8?
D6.
5d6, so you can reduce up to 30 points damage if you roll well, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Flight, you gain a 60-foot flight speed. And spell avoidance. When you're subject to a spell or magical effect that allows you to make a save for half, you take no damage instead if you succeed, half if you fail. So rogue's evasion, but only while this is in effect. And then finally, the return of the Blade Singer.
So where'd the Blade Singer go? Where was he hiding?
Well, it just wasn't in the player's handbook. Hasn't come out yet.
But I feel like do we have a Blade Singer previously?
There's a 2014 Blade Singer, yes.
Wow, we that old? Was it that long ago?
Well, Gil played one in our first campaign.
Yes, I know. That's what I'm saying. So he was using the 2014 version, and
2018 when we were playing. So yeah.
Okay, so now we're we're back
now
at it. Okay, let's go to Blade Singer.
2024. Blade Song. Bonus action, you invoke the elven magic called Blade Song, providing you aren't wearing armor or using a shield. It lasts for 1 minute. It goes away if you add armor, pick up a shield, or put 2 hands on your weapon. When it's active, you gain a number of benefits. Those benefits include agility. You gain a bonus to your AC equal to your intelligence modifier. Your speed increases by 10 feet, and you have advantage on dexterity acrobatic checks.
Okay.
So you are a wizard. So
it goes along with it, but it's giving you that ability to actually now start the fight.
Yep. But so as a wizard, you're looking at plus 3, 4, or 5 armor class, depending on your intelligence, rather. Blade work. Whenever you attack with a weapon which you have proficiency, you can use your intelligence modifier for attack and damage rolls instead of strength or dex.
Okay, because you have the higher intelligence, so that makes sense.
Yep. And then focus. When you make a Constitution saving throw for concentration, you can add your intelligence modifier to the total.
So you're getting your Constitution modifier and your intelligence modifier.
Yes.
So maybe a +4 at 18, another +3. So that's a pretty big bump there, because you can have some minimums of 10s to make. It might be a +6, 7, 8, or and then at high levels maybe even +10.
Yeah, it's going to make those chip shots pretty unlikely to fail. You know, that little damage to get dinged for 1 or 2 points, all those 10s, it's going to make those harder to fail. Gotcha. And then if you take either Warcaster or Resilient Con, chances are you're making your concentration checks.
Yeah, I like it.
Level 3.
I like just the wording of this: training in war and song. That just sounds pretty cool.
You gain proficiency in all melee martial weapons that don't have the 2-handed or heavy property, and you can use a melee weapon with which you have proficiency as a spellcasting focus for your wizard spells.
I like that.
You also gain proficiency in one of the skills: athletics, acrobatics, performance, or persuasion. Level 6, you get an extra attack. You can attack twice instead of once whenever you take the attack action. And then the big part of this is you can cast a cantrip as one of those 2 attacks.
So in place of, swing the sword, cast a cantrip. So what cantrip? Maybe shocking grasp if you're going to do an unarmed attack. Maybe you do
could be anything.
Blade ward. Maybe you do
blade ward every round, or you could be re-upping blade ward. It could be you might get a benefit out of True Strike for the damage bonus.
Is Green Flame Blade a cantrip?
Yep.
Or is that a level?
Green Flame Blade is still a cantrip. Booming Blade is still a cantrip.
Okay.
So yeah.
So you do have some options there.
Yep. Level 10, Song of Defense. When you take damage while your Blade Song is active, you can take a reaction to expend a spell slot and reduce the damage taken by 5 times the spell slot's level. So you get hit for 20 points of damage, you can burn a whatever spell and reduce it by 5 per level.
I mean, how do you feel about burning wizard spell slots to reduce damage? It kind of hurts my soul a little bit being a divine wizard and really. If you're dying,
if I got 20 hit points left and I'm hit for 22, I'm gonna burn a first level spell and stay standing.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, fair enough. I like it.
And then Song of Victory, after you cast a spell that has a casting time of an action, you can make one attack with a weapon as a bonus action.
That's kind of a lower capstone, level 14.
Yeah. It's not necessarily as powerful as some of the others, but wizards, you're a wizard already. You're already on the upper end of the power curve. So.
Yeah. So we're coming up on an hour here, Professor, and we've gone over all the subclasses for the new Heroes of Faerûn book. I think maybe Sunday or another day we'll do backgrounds, feats, origin feats, all that good stuff,
Sure.
general feats. What's your kind of thought process so far of the book, just based on the subclasses? Because many people might buy this book just to be able to read and have access to the subclasses.
Yeah. Honestly, I would say they're kind of 50-50.
Okay.
I would say Knowledge Domain, Noble Genie, Spellfire, and Bladesinger will probably be popular. And I think the other four are going to see bit usage.
Yeah.
If you're playing an evil campaign, somebody's going to jump on Sky Under the 3.
And how many times do I have to buy this book? First edition, well, not first edition, but Forgotten Realms, second, third, fourth. I feel like they've always come out with a Faerûn kind of book with information about it. So now we have it again.
Yep.
We have to keep buying the same book with the same history and information. Is there new information in it? We will delve more into that.
This book is very devoted to the players. You don't find much in here other than what the players need. Backgrounds, feats.
Okay.
Go to the player.
So it's really almost like a player's handbook.
This is the player's guide for Faerûn. Character options, basic guide to the realms, which the regions are, who the gods are, Whole Realms catalog, which is a throwback to a separate book, but some specific equipment and magic items for Faerûn. Now, the one biggie in here is circle magic, which we could probably do a whole session on.
Maybe we'll do that. We'll talk about the magic next time. The weave.
Yep.
Was it always called the weave?
Yes, it's always been the weave. It's the weave and the shadow weave.
Yeah, I don't remember that in the books, but I remember reading.
Yeah.
So
Meister's always been in charge of the weave, and then Shar created the shadow weave to try and take her power away.
I like that. So, I like the book. It's something we picked up for our collection, at least the online version, because some of our players might jump into some of these subclasses. I'm excited about the Oath of the Noble Genie. I think that's pretty cool. And Knowledge Domain now, Cleric, you'll be able to upgrade whatever you're doing to the current rule set.
Like I said, I think the only thing that changed in Knowledge Cleric from the playtest was the level 6 ability, Unfettered Mind. I think the proficiency and intelligence saves is different.
Okay.
That's different than what it was in the playtest.
Okay. Well, I'm giving it a thumbs up. I dig it. Make your own decisions. Anybody watching, thank you for taking the time. As always, Adventures Wanted, subscribe today. We're going to try to do more streams reviewing rules and books during the week, maybe on Thursday nights. We'll still have a Sunday morning show occasionally, but I think we'll try to switch during the week. And we're going to try to get into some live plays and live streams and stuff like that. But we like just chatting about D&D. Comment below what your favorite class is. And that's about it. Any closing thoughts, Professor?
No, I think it's a solid set, and I think it's a solid book. I think people will get some use out of it.
All right, sounds good. Everybody have a good night. I hope you get to play some games this week. Bye.
Night, everybody.